I need you to let me know that you never let me go. Is this true?
Yeah, Saha, I'm a loner. I'm borderline in Mexico, my mind's in Arizona. Yeah. I'm the symbol of a prince, and you find as Apollonia. I'm a doctor, a bachelor, a master, my fourth diploma. The cash from off the corner. Moon rock aroma, Baccarat Kelowna. Every time I set the bar, I'm knocking down Coronas. Sativa from Seattle, I was an organ donor. She wanna marry, but I dance around the ring like I'm Loma. She mad that I don't wanna. Shawty wanna leave, I said the sooner the better. Make a stop in Oklahoma. Here's a pickup line, I don't own a Tacoma. Who ain't ever heard of Williams Sonoma? But I smoked a blunt with her, so why would I stone her? She talking in my ear, I'm like, I don't belong here. Cause I see through them lies like lingerie. You ain't gotta enunciate, I know what you wanna say. She said,
I just wanna run this place so that I can run away with you. With you, with you, with you. I need you to let me know that you never let me go. Is this true? Oh baby.
I met a dancer out in Aspen, we was co-chillin'. She had dreams to be an actress, but the role switched. So now she's on the pole stripping just to get attention. From old to a probably throw their whole pension. She running game, but she really run away. But I ain't show up with no cape, so I can't say today. It's kinda sad how Mona Lisa turned to Lisa Ray. Let me explain, she insecure, no Issa Rae. Running plays, defeat the fam like it's Hunger Games. Rolling grams at my mother's pad in my younger days. I was not afraid to hit the block and get my pockets paid. Bumping Big Papa, who shot you, put that shit on Callaway.
Flight 019er, 2 miles northeast to establish an approach.
Let's run away from your curse, you know, then be worse. A difficult relationship game, let's see who cheat first. She think the order to pay me is to reimburse. She drink me like a spray dance, still can't abate her thirst. Her heart was cold like mid of February, and plus the attitude was unnecessary, that sucks. She claimed to hold it down to be the good one, of course. But once you raise the volume up too hot, no, we can't adjust. A lot of things to build and to demonstrate. Ain't no hesitation when it come to place. But if you run away with me, you can't play no games with me. Keep it natural, but I ain't into Kim K's. She tried to tell me that isn't the truth. If you don't believe the truth, why should I believe in you? I know you think I wouldn't let you through, but feelings wasn't this mutual. I'ma give you the deuce. Oops.
I just wanna run this place so that I can run away with you. With you, with you, with you. I need you to let me know that you never let me go. Is this true? Oh baby.
Hola, 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 mi gente. I see you, Mike Jones. Do me a favor, darling. Go to King Made Music _ on Instagram. That is the owner of that track. I'll throw his name in the chat. King Made Music. Let him know that you heard the intro. Let him know that you heard the intro on the block with Jen. Okay. And ask him what that track is. All right. So I'm throwing his name in the chat right now. There goes King Made Music _ on Instagram. Go there, DM him, tell him you heard the intro on the block with Jen. Tell him to hook you up. But that is his music. Dope track for sure.
I was actually on his page earlier today because he showed some love, and I went on his page and he has some dope things. So thanks for showing love, King Made Music.
For real. He's that dude. He's that dude. All right, guys, welcome to On the Block with Jen. Is today Wednesday, Lily?
Yes, we are doing Wednesday today.
Oh shit. Okay. That reminds me, I gotta shoot a text. Oops. All right. I am Jen, your favorite. What happened?
Hope it ain't money.
No, it ain't money.
We ain't gonna forget that one.
I am Jen on the block with Jen, your favorite devil's advocate. Mama just got back from the gym. That's why I look like I'm ready to line somebody up. Okay.
Like Papoose.
Exactly. So tonight's topic, Remy Ma cheated on Papoose with the help. Tasha K alleges. This thing is growing legs, Lily. I didn't want to talk about this shit,
I know
but
you
it's
did.
growing legs.
It won't
You really
stop.
didn't.
Please tell me you got. Please tell me you bought Exhibit A, the video that I put in the group chat.
I don't have the video. You mean after the aftermath of the smack whatever the hell the rap battle?
Oh, they caught up with her. I think yesterday or today.
Right. And then they would
I've never met this Remy Ma before. Haran saw it.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw the video. I was shocked. The only thing and just so people know what we're talking about, Remy Ma was present at, is it still Smack? Is it
Yes,
still
I think so.
a Smack
I think.
rap battle?
I think
She was
so.
she was at a rap battle and I'm still confused. Maybe someone in the chat can help me out. Maybe the panel can help me out. By the way, you can follow us all. Our names are on the screen. We're everywhere. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, our names are on the screen. If you have a specific question for one of us, throw it in the chat. We will respond. But we all have content and we all have channels. Okay. We just come meet here all week. Someone can help me out. Remy Ma was at a rap battle. I'm confused. Was she a guest?
I think it
No, I
was
believe she was.
hers. Yeah, that's
No, I
her
believe
rap battle.
it's her. It's her. It's her competition.
She's a league. Yeah, she's a
Yes,
league,
yeah.
and it's doing really well from what I hear. It's doing really well.
Okay, it's
My understanding,
Remy's.
yeah.
It's
Yes, her
Remy's
league.
league. It's Remy's league. So what does that mean? She has a group of battle rappers,
Yes.
or
Yeah,
is the
so
whole
she
thing called
essentially
Remy's
won.
league? One mic at a time, because I'm like everybody's talking. In I'm okay. Remy's league, is that her entire production, or does she have a group of battle rappers?
Well, it's her production, and then there's different groups.
Got it. So she's basically doing like a smack, but it's her. Okay, that's some good business. So that's why she was on stage.
Mm-hmm. And usually Pap is on stage as well, but recently he hasn't been because she gave him a pity title, an executive pity title.
Okay. That's what we do with our significant others
Right.
sometimes,
We talked
right?
about that.
To make them feel important, right? We're like, hey, I'll put you down as such and such, right? So you don't feel left out. We spoke about Remy Ma being the masculine energy or the more popular one, however you like, tomato, the one that's more visible of the two, right? In mainstream pop culture, rap culture, she's the more, right, noticed person, right? And then Papoose gets an honorable second mention. Okay, so now it's making sense, right? Now we're up to speed. She has her own thing. She was on stage. She looked like a deer caught in the headlights. So apparently the guys that were battle rapping, one of them involved her.
Yes. Oh, so you're talking about that video?
Yes.
Okay, there's another one. There's a recent one from like today or yesterday that they're
Mm-hmm.
asking about this whole thing. Like they're asking about what we reported on yesterday. And she really looked like a deer in headlights. She was all shook and nervous and
Okay,
shy.
yeah. Yeah, I saw that one too, but I want everyone to be up to speed to what happened on stage, right? Because it looked awkward to me. She didn't look, that's why I was confused, Lily, because I was like, she didn't look like someone hosting a show. She looked like, why am I standing here? She had no presence on stage. She looked like, why am I standing here? Oh shit, why is he throwing my name in it? And then women have, and I'm exaggerating, but women have hundreds of pantomimes in comparison to men. Okay. So our faces react and our bodies react a lot more when shit happens. And what I saw when the guy on stage was mentioning, this is how you talk to your papoose, this is how you talk to your bitch, blah, blah, she did the She looked quite uncomfortable. So it's ironic. Fast forward to the video you're talking about, Lily. They literally asked her, "Are you comfortable? You looked uncomfortable." She said, "I'm comfortable." She didn't look comfortable.
While saying I look comfortable, she looked extra uncomfortable.
Right. Uh,
It was a mess.
I'm like, it looked weird to me. It looked, and I gotta agree with you.
Because I was looking at the body language, I was looking at the
Uh-huh.
way she was speaking. I said, I've never met this Remy before. Now, where's she been at? I've been knowing Remy since the 90s. I was introduced to Remy through Pun album. And
Right.
she's talking about the bravado, and she talked like smack like a wrestler, So I was confused on how we got this lady, this meek and coy, shook and nervous lady that we were looking at in the video.
Yeah,
When they were
it looked weird. It just looked weird to me. Like this whole thing is like it's weird. To answer Mike Jones, pantomime. Pantomime. It's basically things that human beings do with their bodies when they're lying about shit. Right? So look it up. It's quite interesting. When people are lying because they're lying and their body knows they're lying, their body rejects what they're saying. So they do shit like play with their nose, right? Or tighten their lip,
She did
right?
all the above.
Or look to the left or the right, or touch their nose, right? Because your body is rejecting the lie, right? Psychopaths, sociopaths are great at lying, right? Because they feel nothing. They feel no guilt. Huh?
Or if you're a guy, you actually grab the woman's hand slowly, look her into the eye, and you tell the lie.
Well, I don't think men are good at lying. I think women are good at ignoring the lie.
No, some
That's
men
what
are
I
very
think.
good at lying.
Well,
because
you
they learn
have to
from
be
women.
some. Well, you have to be so. Oh, you want to fight early. He said they learn from
Right.
women. Ain't this about a bitch on a Wednesday? This woman crush Wednesday. All right,
Right.
fall back,
How dare
Saying.
soldier.
you?
You
Fall
gotta
back,
learn from who
soldier.
does it better, right?
How dare you?
Fall back, soldier. You know what? You know what? Fall back.
Saying.
However, you may have a point. Women are better liars.
Oh,
What are
both
you
of them just.
shaking your head for, no saint? What is going on here on Woman Crush Wednesday?
I cannot believe not on the Wednesday. Y'all can at least wait for
Remember
Freaky
what they
Friday
just said
Eve.
earlier, right? You know what I'm saying? They was like to give you
Wednesday.
a little title, give you a little bullshit title, like head window washing engineer and shit like that. That's how it starts.
What the hell?
That starts. That's how it starts.
Jesus, I'm not liking that. So, one of my very favorite movies, okay, of all times. And some of you may have seen this or not. Do you guys remember True Romance?
Mm-hmm. It's actually one of
Okay.
my favorite movies.
Oh, True Romance is fucking bananas. It's one of those films that has a lot of heavyweight actors in it, very well-known actors. Okay. And there's a part where these Sicilian mobsters are coming to kill one of the guys, right? The father of the guy that they're looking for, right? They're looking for this guy. They get his address and they go speak to his father. His father pretty much, great actor, knows I'm going to die. So now I'm going to fuck with you, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I actually have the dialogue here, and I need to read it because it's such a great scene, right? So the guy is looking at this Sicilian mobster who's about to kill him after he gives him the information. And he says to him, before his death, he says, Sicilians are great liars, the best in the world. I'm Sicilian. My father was the world heavyweight champion of Sicilian liars. From growing up with him, I learned the pantomime. There are 17 different things a guy can do when he lies to give himself away. A guy's got 17 pantomimes, a woman's got about 20 or more, but a guy's got 17. But if you know them, like you know your own face, they beat lie detectors all to hell. Now, what we got here is a little game of show and tell. You don't want to show me nothing, but you're telling me everything. I know you know where they are, so tell me before I do some damage you won't walk away from. And if you think that shit is good, you have to see how the man who's about to die responds. It is a phenomenal scene. The movie is called True Romance. It's fucking amazing, right? But it's a great little dialogue about pantomimes. Very, very great dialogue.
You know,
So going back to Remy Ma, the way she looked on stage and then the way she was answering that question, are you comfortable? No, the pantomimes were spewing from her face.
Horrible.
Spewing. No, Saint, you were saying.
no, I was just thinking about what you were saying. And I think I'm sure actors and actors, women or men. No, women and I don't know if they're allowed to be called actresses anymore. So just say women and men actors are probably excellent at lying, no matter if they're good. If they're really good actors, I imagine like a male actor is probably way better than the average guy at lying. Because I know the only reason I say is I know I got tells. There's no way I can lie to people because they can. Yeah, if you know me long enough, you're gonna know I'm lying just by my facial expressions. I can't lie. So, but I'm sure an actor probably could. I don't know what your thought is on that, but
my thought is it's kind of it's almost insulting because I have an echo. It's kind of insulting, believe it or not, because it's like when someone wants to throw a jab at an actor, they're always like, oh, you're probably acting. And it's like, what the fuck? Like I have a whole life outside of acting, but I do understand what you're saying. It's like, if you can act like you're somebody else, right? Then obviously you can lie. But believe it or not, those are two separate worlds and two different emotions, two different sets of emotions, right? Me creating a whole other character outside of me is different from me lying to you. So let's say me lying to you, because I'm not a sociopath or a psychopath, I'm going to have, whether it's the sweaty hands or the pantomimes, or I'm not going to be able to keep, eye contact. I think that's a different level. It's not just, oh, you're a great actor, so you can lie good, because it's two separate sets of emotions that you're using for each thing.
It is.
Right? It's
I'll
two.
tell you a story about that later.
Yeah. However, actors can act, right? Like something isn't and it is, or something is and it isn't. We can do that, right?
So
I'm not going to deny that.
I sent Exhibit A to the VIP chat, so maybe the people can see it. Because it is comedy to me. But no, it is true, because I've seen a really good actor lie before to me, and I'm like, oh, this is the worst performance I've ever seen you in.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I thought about too is like, remember, when we had that incident when Damien came up here and then Jen automatically went to the, oh, come on, and she was acting like
say incident.
But she went in. She went into an acting mode that was convincing, and that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, but I get what you're saying as well. Like, once you explain it, yeah, like just because you're a great actor doesn't mean like under pressure, like under something emotional, that you'd be able to pull off the same thing. But it is women and Haran. I'm gonna take some heat, but women, I think, have the ability. It's maybe guys are just gullible, but have the ability to make guys believe things that aren't real.
I say that all the time, man. They tell you what you want to hear. Anyway, let's use that situation for as an example when Jen acted that way. She acted that particular way with Damien because there was a crack there was a crack in that fucking armor that she knew she could exploit. He clearly had a thing for he clearly, you know what I mean, had something going on, you know what I mean, underneath that, and she exploited it. One thing about women, after like sitting back and just watching them, being a side dude, watching my own female family members, here's what I think men fuck up. There'll be 3 people in front of a guy, and he'll lie to them the same way, all of them the same way based on his style of lying. There'll be 3 people in front of a woman. She'll lie to all 3 of those people based on what kind of person she's fucking lying to. She'll customize the fucking lie.
You know what? You're coming in really. I can't hear you. Oh, we lost Haran.
Yeah,
Oh shit! Damn. I don't know how that happened.
I hate when that happens.
I'm serious.
Got to be more careful.
I've seen these women actually sit here and say that, oh yeah, so he's gonna ask this and ask that and ask this and ask that. So we got to set this up, and I'll just sit there just in complete, just fucking awe. And I'm just saying to myself, this is some psychopathic shit. Let me just sit back and watch this shit. Like, and it's natural. And it's natural because I've seen my fucking daughter do this shit. And I've caught her in situations, you know what I mean? And I'll be like, you're fucking lying to me. Like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm like, yes, I know you're fucking lying to me, man. And you're thinking like, no, not my little girl. No,
not my little girl. Not my flower.
No, not my little angel. No, man. No, this shit is innate. This shit is innate. It's mind-boggling when you actually think about it. Because look at it. Look. Let's call it what it is. When guys get around each other, what is the main thing that most of us do? We fucking lie. Men fucking lie around each other. You know what I mean? Half the stuff that guys say that they do when they got involved. These motherfuckers never got into that shit. But men like going and being around each other and everybody throwing their fucking dick on the table, having the piss contest, shit like that. It's a ritual. But women, man, that shit is amazing to watch.
Well, to all the young men out there listening, I will tell you one truth that a woman never lies about when she says it's not you, it's me. That's true. When they're breaking up with you, say it's not you, it's me. The woman's telling the truth. It is definitely them.
So we just gonna say how long are we gonna sit back and tolerate this? Like, this is blasphemy.
I'm an observation mostly. I want to hear more about us. I want to hear more about us.
Here's the thing. Shit today.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm taking it all in. I just want to see how much I'm observing. I want to see how much they know about us. I will say this. I think it's not psychopathic. It's not sociopathic with women. Women are we have more intuition. We have more tools for life. Okay. Men are very black and white. Eat, sleep, fuck. Eat, sleep, fuck.
Sports.
Move heavy things, lift heavy things. Women, we have to raise children, know what someone is feeling by just looking at them. We're healers, we're nurturers, right? We build men, Spartans, you know what I mean? We know things. Like, I was just having a conversation with a friend earlier today. And when my friends bring a problem to me, I always ask, what's the person's first name? And do you have a picture? I get my read on, you know what I mean? It's just some weird shit that I do. I don't know why. It's just, like Haran said, it's innate. We have all these extra tools for survival when men are like, kill, eat, fuck, sleep. Kill, eat, fuck, sleep, right? Women are thinking of so many other things. So, you know, salute to Haran for knowing it's absolutely true. Men tell the same lie to 3 people. Same fucking lie. That is why, you know, Italians, they got the kumara, the mistress and the wife, they buy both them chicks the same fucking jewelry. Same fucking jewelry, right? Women, well, I got him that outfit because he likes that. And I give him the platinum package because this guy needs the platinum package. This guy, he can go without getting head, right? This guy, so it's true, right? We're different people for different men, where men are the same motherfucker no matter who he's sleeping with, right? And, you know, in my research, I will speak to women who have dealt with someone that I've dealt with, and we all compare notes, and we're like, oh, he did that to me too. Oh, he did that to me. He did it to me. However, if you gathered my exes in a room, one would say she ain't never did. She did what to you? Who are you talking about? Not Jen. Right? And the other guy would be like, oh, she didn't do that to you. So Haran is correct. That is how women operate.
Women are the original T1 Terminators when they read people.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, the reads are real.
A guy, I don't know if it's the Irish setter, which one, where they point and they're sticking their tail out and they're pointing or whatever, a pointer or whatever, and women, any of the dogs where the ears are doing like this, constantly like listening to different. that's how women are. Women paying attention over here, listening over here, what's going on over there, checking, and a guy is just straight.
I tell everyone,
I'm doing this. You can't see my hand. I'm doing that.
I'm telling you, I tell everyone I know everything that's going on in the 360-degree radius. I'm looking you right in the eye, and I can tell you what everybody is doing, and I can pick up on conversations that I need to pick up on. If it affects me, or if it's I'm like, hold up, ding, 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 as I'm looking you in the eye and shaking and nodding like, and I'm picking up everything.
It is supernatural. It is supernatural. That's why I can like hang out with a guy and be around his other guys and then tell him something about that man over there that he's known for 10 years that he never even noticed. I'm like, did you not notice when you said X, Y, and Z what he did? You didn't notice that? Like that is what women do. And that's why women are such a gem, right? If men could get past this is just pussy, like women are very, very necessary for not only your survival, but your success, right? It's like, so it's a shame what a lot of these guys are being taught on social media because it's all fucking wrong, man. It's all wrong. Y'all stuck on body counts and femininity. They're sending you into a burning house.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a lot of things that a lot of you too fucking stupid to even take this into consideration. Why would these manosphere motherfuckers want to create another version of themselves? You'll be competition for them. Men are not going to create their own competitors. They'll help you enough.
That's the whole fucking topic.
They'll help you enough. But I'm not going to teach you how to beat me. At the end of the day, it's player versus player. Why would I give you every single tool that you fucking need to really, really compete out here when I can just give you just enough to think that you can compete? But in reality, you never will. So you got to really play chess and understand war. You have to really understand what it really means to win out here. Motherfuckers that's really winning, the top 5, 1 percentile, motherfuckers ain't sharing secrets.
The top G's.
They stealing them. You know what I mean?
I think.
Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was going to say that they're very good at creating an illusion that they're helping you just enough to get your money, just like religion, right? The dude at the podium is giving you the illusion that he's helping you just enough to get them tithes, right? It's the same thing. It's like,
for instance, when a major conglomerate, if a particular company or startup comes up on their radar, what's the first thing that they do? You try to buy them out. And if they can't buy them out, what do? They fucking crush them. Because why would I wait for you to really be competition for me? You know what I mean? But again, a lot of these guys really don't sit down and really understand what it really is out here. And a lot of times when you're out here and you have, and this could be a woman, this could be friends, this can be whomsoever, when you have these so-called unassuming people that you claim that, well, you know, they let women in these boardrooms because women are unassuming and nobody's gonna, you know what I mean, look at a woman as a threat. Yeah, you're right. That's why I'm gonna make sure she's on my team.
Do you know that's what lobbyists do? Like,
even though you chose that woman, I'm still in the fucking room, you moron. So yeah, go get her. Go get her. Go get all 10 of them. I'm cool with all of them.
Right.
So
One thing
that's
I keep telling dudes, show me a pretty woman and I'll show you a wealthy man's secrets.
Smart.
that's the secret to the pharmaceutical lobbyists, right? They hire beautiful, shapely women to send
Yep.
in to sell medicine that they know are going to kill people. They literally know that's going to kill people, and they put billions to the side for the lawsuits that they know are coming. And they get this beautiful lady to go in and say it's safe and effective, right? And they're like, okay, where do I sign? And I mean, that is literally their trick. Like that's it in a nutshell.
So going back to this story here, the only reason I think that Remy Ma is acting so docile and sitting in her feminine nature, I think she's guilty of some shit, because what she's acting like now is quite foreign. You know that she's the basic hardcore New York chick. You know, it takes one to know one. Just very, that chick at nauseum. I think she puts a lot on it. Maybe she feels más macho because she shot somebody in the past. I don't know what it is. She, her reputation in the Bronx was of someone who couldn't fight. So I wasn't shocked when she shot the chick in the car, right? I would think if someone steals your money, you're going to want to beat their ass. She decided to shoot the girl in a car. The girl was not a threat. That to me was some punk shit. I know some people may think otherwise. You know what I mean? It was some punk shit. You take my money, I'm beating your ass, right? It's like, don't mess with my man, my money, or my kids. Not that hard. Right? She decided to shoot this woman. So I find it very, very strange that she's been put in this situation and she's acting very, very docile. Like, yeah, I was comfortable. I was like, Remy, is that you?
I literally, I was like,
and we're not the only ones that feel this way. I read the comments, and a lot of people in the comments are like, "Oh, Remy is feminine," but I really do think that has something to do with guilt, right? And ain't no way someone's going to mess with this woman, seeing as she's a public figure, and not tell somebody. And somebody's going to tell somebody. You know how dudes are. They talk. So interestingly enough, Tasha K is weighing in on this, okay? She says Remy Ma cheated on Papoose with the help. Says here, Remy Ma has been trending on Twitter X recently after Tasha K accused her of cheating on Papoose. The pair have been married for 15 years, but according to the internet personality Tasha K, Remy hasn't been faithful. Tasha K discussed the allegations during a recent live stream, also providing receipts to back up her claims. The little boy works for her. He is trying to get a come up in rap, Tasha K says of Easy, the block captain. Remy Ma and Papoose were supposed to own this company together, and Remy Ma is sleeping. And I'm gonna say allegedly with the help. One of the pieces of evidence Tasha K is using against Remy is a photo which appears to show her having a meal with Easy. Allegedly, this was a date. She then went on to showcase a rap battle between Remy's alleged other man and Geechee Gotti. Okay, so I don't know. Tasha K is saying that's what it is, but of course she has to use the word allegedly because she already got sued for some other shit, involving Cardi B. There had also been rumors circulating that Papoose got into a fight with Easy after the battle, which Remy denied. Can y'all please stop with the Easy and Pap lies? She wrote. Easy, the block captain, shut down the speculation during the interview following the battle, claiming that all that shit's cap. It's rumored that the fight took place because Easy, the block captain's opponent, exposed the rapper's relationship with Remy. Now social media users are weighing in, speculating that Remy Ma and Papoose have split and responding to her alleged infidelity. It's rumored that Remy is now in a relationship with Easy, which is getting her a lot of backlash. With that being said, however, the rumors haven't been confirmed and nobody involved has responded to the drama publicly. So what say we of that? I really, I see a lot of the sentiment being echoed. He held you down when you was in prison. He held you down when you was in prison and you cheated on him. He deserves better. He deserves better. I'm like,
I mean, look, I also saw another video. I guess it was after show, and it caught her and dude. And dude, I don't think dude knew he was on camera, but Remy saw the camera and she
I
tapped
saw
dude for a
that.
second. Look at the camera real quick. She was like, look at the camera. Like the gesture was like, be careful what you say or how you move right now. There's a camera on us. And there's also a some footage of him asking some questions in terms of some upcoming battle. And he was real laid back, relaxed, you know what I mean, real cocky and swaggy about it. And there was a woman, a female's voice in the background that sounded a lot like Remy. You know, it sounded a lot like Remy's voice.
Saying
look,
what?
Listen, man. She looked. She was hyping it up, trying to basically saying that the dude he was going against ain't had nothing for him, yada yada. This is how I'm seeing it. This is before the Tasha K situation. The way I've read the situation. This is a young guy. He's getting some heat on him. He's got some potential. It's Remy's league. She could probably do some stuff with this guy if his star, you know what I mean, continues to gain some kind of ground. He's an asset. Papoose is pretty much a liability. Like what I mean, he's a homemaker, I guess. I don't know. You know,
nanny.
A liability though? How a liability?
How is that nanny?
Well, liability in terms of economically. I mean, what money is he bringing in for a brand?
Well, he has a free babysitter, so that saves money.
Yeah,
actually.
but he's the father of her child.
Come on, let's look at this. Look, man, let's look at this from a business perspective. This is one of the reasons why we get fucked up in relationships. At the end of the day, after the lovey-dovey, sucky shit is over, you know what I mean? We need to get down to the brass tacks of the situation. Is this situation really going to be viable for both parties? And over a long period of time, Papoose has not, to my knowledge, shown that he is an asset to the brand. I'm pretty sure she got them on Love and Hip Hop. It's her, you know, league. She rapping with Fat Joe. I ain't hear him rap with Fat Joe yet. I ain't hear him rap with her yet. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you do outside being Mr. Remy Ma? Like, what are you doing? Mr. Remy Ma who comes on the weekends. You know what I mean? Mr. Remy Ma who gives up commissary. I don't know.
So it's interesting. This guy, Easy the Block Captain, kind of looks like Papoose, to be honest.
That's funny because I don't even know what he looks like. You got it? You have to.
Yeah, I can pull the picture. He kind of. I mean, he has this.
So she has a type.
Yeah, like it. I don't see the. Yeah.
Her type is Papoose, or rappers that look like Papoose.
Yeah, I mean, they're pictures next to each other. I'm like, you know, if the cops are running around looking for a suspect on the street, either one of these cats could get picked up with this description. I'm just saying.
That's sad. You call the police on your husband and they pick up your side piece instead.
Listen, so
stranger things have happened.
What's interesting though, you know, with anything else, what's interesting is, of course, the hypocrisy, because, you know, we're living in a time where men, specifically Black men, I don't know the statistic, Mr. Research, I see you in the chat, but specifically Black men are running rampant online. You know what I mean? Bashing Black women, right? So all of a sudden, Remy Ma is the worst thing on the planet if she's cheating. But we know if this was the other way around and Papoose was cheating, you know, with the secretary, these guys wouldn't give a fuck. They wouldn't care at all. They'd blame Remy. They'd be like, oh, maybe she works too much. Oh, maybe she hangs out with Fat Joe too much. You know, so it's funny to me how this is such a big fucking deal. And this is why I didn't want to talk about it. And you guys know that. Like, it's like, is this really that big a fucking deal? But people making it a big deal, I'm sure, because she's the one in the hot seat that may be cheating. But if he was cheating, this wouldn't even be a second thought. No one would give a damn. So let me pull up this picture. This is what these guys look like. I'm like, they look like the same motherfucker. They
Because
look like the same motherfucker to me.
I honestly think it's a big deal because they have made a brand off of parading their marriage. And
Okay.
people, because you know how I feel about couples goals. People really like that shit. Couples channels are big. Family channels are huge. So people get attached to these people they don't know. They really do.
Right.
I have to
Do you
remind
think
myself of that.
okay. Do you think that happened because of their whole love story and their appearance on freaking Love and Hip Hop that made them kind of like that couple? Like I looked at them and I've
Well,
never
they've gone on many press runs. The Black Love press runs. Like they've gone on many Black Love press runs.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that
In
makes
addition
sense
to
then.
that.
That makes sense then. The thing is that I don't check for these people.
You yourself have to cosplay a Black woman and pander to.
Sorry.
Okay.
Wrong. Yeah, wrong.
Black woman.
Yeah, wrong Black woman. Let me grab this picture so you can see these guys. I mean, they look. I don't know. Well, there they are.
Same tribe as. Same
Same
tribe
like,
as.
Same fitted
I mean,
style.
I'm telling you, it's the same. If someone gave a description, he was about a 5'8" Black man with a beard and fitted cap, and he went that way. Like either one of these two guys, unfortunately, would get picked up. You know it and I know it. Let's keep it 100.
The younger one is her height, though. That can have something to do with it.
Which one is Papoose? Who calls himself
Doesn't really matter at this point.
Okay, the one Haran said it don't matter. The one on the right is Papoose.
Okay. First of all, that name alone, he should expect to get the action he's getting right now. That is the dumbest name
Papoose.
I've always said he looks like
is
a Papoose.
baby. That's right.
Oh, a Papoose sounds like an animal to me, like a really cute animal with like big eyes, like a lemur in a way.
The Papoose is the baby that the Native American carries on wrapped up in a. That's a Papoose.
Oh, I thought it was like a cute animal in Australia or some shit like that, like looked like a lemur or something. In my brain, that's what it looked like. So like in my head, he looks like a Papoose.
But so let me understand. Before she went to jail, he was actually more famous than her. Is that correct? Or he had something going on before she went to jail? Is that what happened?
His name
yang around the house.
Yeah, no, wait a minute. Back then, Papoose, like a lot of people were talking about Papoose. We got to keep it 100. Back then.
Ma'am, can we specify back then? Can you give us a number? Back then.
What you mean that number?
2001, 1998.
Whatever year it was, they were talking about him. I heard his name. You know what I mean?
This is around 2021. It's like 2021. Everybody
and
just
that's
got
when
over the shit not going down. That's when Papoose was
right,
popping.
but to No Saint's point, there was a point where he was popping. Let's be clear. I will reiterate. Remy Ma is relevant. I can't even say Remy was ever popping. She was relevant because of Fat Joe. I can't even say popping. Right? It's kind of like
because she's never sold an album.
Okay, look, all due respect to Busta Rhymes' sidekick. Okay? But we can say that man was never popping. However, he has remained relevant because of Busta Rhymes. You get what I'm saying? Remy was never popping, but she remained relevant because of Terror Squad. However, Papoose, though it was a long time ago, was popping. His name was circulating.
It was buzzing. We
can admit that.
He was like next up for like 3 years, and then they got together. Then she went to prison, and then she became the name. He became the guy that was like following behind him to the prison yard,
which I think was a mistake. Still, I think that. Go ahead, No Saint.
No, I was just gonna say it. Listen, there is no guarantee in relationships. There is no the person that you're with that you may be loyal with may not be loyal to you when they get the leg up. And, you know, as much as you say, people are saying, well, Papoose didn't deserve that. That's the break. Them's the breaks. Sometimes that's, you know, you chose the woman. If she doesn't have whatever you think she should have to remain with Papoose, he chose her, right? And yeah, so she goes to jail. She comes out. She blows up, and his star fades. You know, how long have they been together?
15 years? 15,
so
15
listen,
years?
That's a good run. That's a good run.
I think so. I
mean,
so.
a lot of women are and men. A lot of women and men are looking around at around 15 years.
But I'm gonna bring up something.
Looking at
Jen often
okay,
says.
go ahead.
I'm gonna bring up something that Jen often says, and she said this before. It's all well and good until one member of the arrangement starts getting attention. Okay, like for instance, one of the things I remember, there was a time on Facebook we were having some sort of debate, and I think she said something to the effect of, because the premise was that a woman was going to the gym in order to, you know, shed pounds or whatever, and so on and so forth. And I think something was said to the effect that a lot of times when women go to the gym and they, you know, and they transform their bodies, the relationship goes to shit with their husbands, boyfriends, because the power shift and the dynamic changes now. Because if he doesn't have anything popping and she's got options, here comes the insecure energy in the household. It's going to be a lot of insecure energy in the household. Say if he's in the house, you know what I mean, shit going wrong with the job, he's not progressing, he's not moving, he's not shaking. She's got a new body. That ass is incredible. There's a couple of younger motherfuckers in there, 6-packs, 12-packs, 18-packs. You know what I mean? They're giving her the look. You got about one in between job situation before that relationship goes to shit. You know what I mean? The moment you lose your job or some shit happens, you on the clock. Because then she's going to start thinking, is this worth even going through this? You know what I mean?
that's one of those things where it's like, you know, people, when you say, you know, you meet somebody when you're young, like Jen, we all say, but you meet somebody when you're young, and then, you know, 20 years later, you're not the same person that you were 20 years ago. No. And you might have grown apart. And then, and what you're saying, Haran, is this person decided to go and improve themselves at the gym. And it would have been great if they could have done it together. But if he or she is sitting at home, comfortable the way they are, and then all of a sudden the person that's improving themselves is looking at you and resenting it because, you know, hey, I'm putting in the effort. Why aren't you putting in the effort type stuff, you know? So yeah, I totally get that. So with this, his star faded and hers took off. And then pile on that they were together 15 years already. And now a lot of attention. He might have been getting the attention back when he was, you know, quote unquote, popping. But now it's not. And now she is getting the attention. And then she might be, you know, less interested in him as a romantic partner as well. So, yeah, I mean, them's the breaks, you know.
And then we look at the BB.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that we look at the BBL couples. They are a perfect example of that. Like rarely, if ever, they stay together after the woman gets the BBL and her body changes. One of them going to start acting brand new or going to start acting real shitty, right? And I've seen plenty of those relationships go to hell as well. So yeah, it's a thing behind that.
I just want to clarify something. Fat Joe is not the reason for Remy. Big Pun is. If we're going to really keep it 100, Big Pun is the reason for all them niggas. You know what I'm saying? I mean, reaching a mainstream level, okay? Because Fat Joe was underground for a minute. Okay? Underground NY. No disrespect. I'm just calling the facts right here. Joe was underground, you know, NY for a minute. And when they got with Pun, Cass hit a huge lick.
Yeah, I remember listening to Fat Joe on mixtapes back in 93, 94. And then we didn't really start hearing from him until like we heard him on the I Shot You remix, but he was just another person on there. Foxy got more shine on that than he did. It wasn't until Pun in 98.
So overall, the reality is this, man. When somebody really has some things going on and they're really moving and shaking, if the other person really doesn't have the same things happening, you got to be very, very secure and patient in who you are and yourself. Because it's very easy to get swept up in the whole fact that the other person is getting all this attention and you just pretty much might be a nobody. You know what I mean? That's the thing about social media that's wild, because, you know, especially if you have a relationship and people know you're in a relationship with other people, you know what I mean? A lot of times people go out their way to make sure that you two break up eventually, because motherfuckers love them a fucking breakup in social media.
That's true.
And I shared about this yesterday on here. That was my story too, right? When I met the guy, I didn't really have shit, and I had just started YB Limited. It was only a name. That was it. And then when it started to pop and blow, and then every time we went out in Atlanta, people knew who I was. I started catching hell at home. And he's told me since then, as he apologized or whatever, that I didn't bring that shit home. Like, it wasn't like I was coming home like, oh my God, you see everybody fucking knows me and like talking to me and stuff. Like, it wasn't nothing like that. It was because at home I wanted normalcy any damn way. So I didn't care about any of that stuff. But it got to the point where I kind of would hope no one would say nothing to me on the street, because I knew it was going to be hell to pay when I got home, whether I mentioned it or not. Like, I'd be like, okay, thank you. And then we'll get home and it wouldn't take long. It could just be anything. And it'd be like, don't let them motherfuckers gas your head up. I just wanted to know if you wanted cheese on your sandwich, but okay.
So I'm looking here. This is a stretch. This is a reach. I hope you didn't hurt your arm reaching here with this comment. Is your arm okay? I just want to know. Mr. Research said Remy was running the lady scene the song Conceited. Okay. So I'm looking at her total record sales. It says 160,000 here. She dropped 2 albums. One of them was a collaboration with Fat Joe. Remy was running nothing. Okay. Right. She wasn't running nothing. While the song was catchy and cute, she wasn't running. Right. She wasn't running anything. Again, she is Fat Joe's sidekick. She might as well be, what is that guy's name that runs around with Busta Rhymes, respectfully?
Spliff Star.
Okay. She's the female version of Spliff Star, except Spliff Star is a lot more entertaining. Is that fair?
Spliff Star gonna be jumping and doing backflips and shit. He gonna spin and flip and do all that and
I
slide.
think that's fair. I don't know why we can't just have real conversations. It's not even hate. It's fucking reality. She is literally Fat Joe's sidekick, except Spliff Star does a lot more to earn his fucking money than Remy does. Remy can't fucking sell a record to save her life. She shows up in the wigs and the high heels, and that's how she earns her fucking place as a sidekick. At least Spliff Star is on fucking tour and working his ass off on stage. What does Remy do? Come out when they're doing Lean Back?
I'm about to say, and let's be really clear. That album sales that you named, because one of those albums, you got to realize, one of those albums came out prior to streaming. So technically all that shit is just albums that were shipped to stores, may not even been scanned, because they kind of pre-buy them before that's why when Jay-Z because he said his number is like shipped and scanned. That's 2 different things. Shipped and scanned are 2 different things. So it probably is way less than that. That's just what the store got, and it's probably still sitting on today.
It says here the album sold over 35,000 copies in the first week, and overall 160,000 copies. Running what? What lady scene was she running? And I'm talking about the album collectively. Look, she would have died with the name Remy Ma would have died with Big Pun. Had it not been for Fat Joe saying, you could come along with me since we got like this thing. It's like Big Pun liked you. I'll bring you along. And we don't even know why Big Pun and Fat Joe even wanted her along. Because again, to me, she wasn't that talented a rapper. So we don't know why she's even. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't get it.
She falls right into the thing I always talk about. She's a battle rapper. She was known for being a battle rapper. And 9 times out of 10, a battle rapper cannot. They have a really hard time composing a song. And that's what I've seen with Remy. Remy is extremely insecure. I'm not insecure. Inconsistent. Right?
Okay.
So she can give you a conceit that make you like, okay, I feel it. And then she'll come up with like 5 other things. You're like, what are we doing here? What's this?
I thought whatever was. I liked whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever.
That was
whatever. And then I'm like, I'm conceited. I got a reason. Like, and then that was it. That's the beginning and end of Remy as a solo artist.
I like that whatever shit.
I like whatever.
I mean, it was silly. It was silly. Like I wasn't gonna buy it.
Yeah, and I probably
and I haven't heard it.
A couple of motherfuckers ain't buy it, so clearly.
I mean, I like the I'm on the block with Jen, but I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'll buy that one.
I'm on the block with Jen.
Get better with the comment. That was funny.
That
was funny.
This here is not. We're definitely not. That's not what he said. See, that's a problem. Hip hop should have the same time value over time like all other genres. Here's the thing. It does. There are a lot of rap artists that have timeless classics. They will live on forever. Papoose and Remy don't fall under that. So you can't put that in Papooses and Remy Ma's lap because that's not the reason why they're not popping. That's not why they're not popping because there are a lot of timeless classics. So White Line is a mother. White Line, a Vision Dreams. I mean, some shits are classics forever, but that's not what's wrong with Papoose and Remy. They just they can never pop. And I'm telling you, had Fat Joe not adopted her from the streets of nowhere after Pun's death, we would not be talking about this woman.
I like Abby's comment talking about hip hop keeps you frozen in youth. You can't age. And that's the truth. That's why some of them be out here looking.
Bro.
Dressing like they 16.
Yeah. With their dyed beards.
We know she dropped the record, bro. It just didn't do anything. She dropped 2006, locked in jail, 11 months later till 2014. Yeah, but I think you're missing the point here. She had no commercial appeal. She has absolutely no commercial appeal. Period. Somebody who was running shit. Wait 1 second, Lily. When we talking about somebody who's running shit, we talking Nicki Minaj. We talking Lauryn Hill, a motherfucker who can play, shows 20 years after one album. That's a big fan. Okay, this woman made an album that spoke to a generation of women. That's a completely different situation. People who run shit, the Wu-Tang Clan, Biggie, Pac, all these people were running shit. You know what I mean? Like Remy was never running shit. She had maybe a song or two that a couple of people paid for because that's what they do. They did on the radio. That was some payola shit. Let's just talk it what it is. And then when the budget ran out, she was out of here. That's it.
Yeah. This story. I agree with Abby. Money ain't everything in this case. Let her have her young side thing. Come on, it's only for a minute. I agree. I just think this is a story that got out and wasn't supposed to be out. That's what I think. I don't think this is the first time she got some side dick. I really don't.
But isn't it weird, like you said? Isn't it a little strange? What is it that they do have a similar look?
She has
What?
a type.
I know,
Yes,
but
yes,
it's like, I don't know. It's kind of strange. Like it's
the
same
splitter
guy.
type. So the Matthew splitter type. You know what I mean? Everybody's got a type.
Everybody's got a type, I ain't got no type.
Remy does. And you know what? The other thing that I have to think about too, because I always think about this when it comes to couples that have monetized their relationships. Who's to say that they haven't been split up for 5 years now and doing their own
Right.
thing? And that's why we weren't supposed to know, because technically they are a brand together. That's a possibility as well.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
are
know.
they are they are a brand together, but for Papoose to get into a physical
That
fight
part.
with him,
That
that's
part.
what's throwing me off. Because if that was it's whatever, he'd been like, "Nigga, I don't give a fuck." Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what we doing behind the scenes, but he got emotional, obviously, right? Where Remy was like, "It's a battle rap, and I'm gonna be mentioned." I understand that. Well, Papoose didn't appreciate being mentioned. He didn't appreciate it.
He didn't.
Mr. and Mrs. That said, I was talking about when you said Papoose was only good way back in the day, because it is true. He hasn't done timeless music, in my opinion. Does he have a timeless classic?
No. No. No.
Well,
He
Mm-mm.
that's what.
slightly. Go ahead.
Well, that's what I
He
meant by way back. His name was buzzing more than now. However, if he dropped hits back then, timeless hits, we'd still be playing it. I can't. Give me a Papoose song, Haram.
I
he just
actually
had
just
mixtapes, and I can't even tell you the name of the mixtapes. He was slightly as good as Big L.
Okay.
That's not it. I give him that. He was, and I'm not gonna lie. I when I heard the mixtapes, I was like, all right, let me check for this dude. Let me, he got a couple of one-liners. He got a couple of
Right.
punchlines. What else he's gonna come with? He never materialized. You see, the problem with the New York Underground is that once you start buzzing, you're on the clock. That's kind of like what happened to Fred the Godson. Like, once you start buzzing a bit, you're on the clock. You got to break through, because if you don't break through and you still at that same spot 2 years later, motherfuckers going to be like, because here comes the next dude right behind you. And he might pop and he might break. And if he breaks, then you just a street legend.
First of all, R.I.P. I don't think he would have ever crossed over the mainstream. That was a funny looking brother.
I didn't want to talk about that, Jenny. But
he
that was
wasn't.
a funny looking brother, boy. R.I.P. No doubt.
Who are we ripping?
The vid got him. The vid got him, unfortunately. The vid got him.
But who are we ripping here? What's his name?
Fred the Godson. Fred the Godson.
I want to look at. I just gotta look at him and see what he looks like.
Oh, go ahead, enjoy.
So
I have to. We're not keeping it real on this Wednesday.
I'm
chat.
wondering.
Come
These
on,
must be her
chat.
neighbors from the Bronx.
Yeah, come on, chat. Come on, chat. Y'all better than this. Remy is still popping though off one album. No, that's not. She's relevant because of Fat Joe. Because Fat Joe drags her everywhere, not because of the album. Nobody's talking about Remy's albums. Nobody's talking about Conceited and whatever. Nobody nowhere is talking about those two songs.
Because she dropped the album a few years ago, and when I say it went, she did a song. I think the single was with Little Kim, and they remade one of Little Kim's songs. It went nowhere. It went double nowhere.
Yeah, I just looked at a picture.
Like y'all can
R.I.P.
Rest in peace. But yeah, he looked like he was on the struggle bus for sure.
Yeah, he didn't make it out the Pandeezy. He didn't make it out the Pandeezy. He looked like a newborn baby when they pull him out. He never lost his newborn appeal. Okay, we're done. We're leaving. We got in the car. We're going down the road now. We're leaving.
So Abby says that Abby says she fucked the help. But can we argue that she married the help too?
Dang.
Just a question. Just a question. Don't shoot the question. No.
I think there's some women who gravitate to men who they can take care of to some degree.
Nicki Minaj.
Maybe Remy Ma, she likes to work with men who she can be taken care of by, but she likes to romantically be involved with men she can take care of. Maybe that's a dynamic. Maybe that's a situation.
Hold up. I'm thinking about something, you all. I'm going down the list of. I'm not thinking about the new school girls yet. I haven't gotten to them in my head, but all of the old school girls, all of their men are that. It's that dynamic. From Lauryn Hill to Little Kim to Foxy Brown to her to Nicki Minaj. I'm trying to think of one that doesn't have that particular dynamic.
Because
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Where the woman is the breadwinner, the female rappers, all of them, they're the breadwinners in their relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
Nas
then
and Nicki Minaj were together for a very short time.
Very, very, very short.
I think that's natural because when you are a powerhouse or you're the breadwinner, you're gonna want someone who's available to you. You know what I mean? Like Jay and Beyonce knew, we're better as a couple. We can build an empire. But a lot of people are usually egotistical and they just want somebody who's going to be there when they get off tour. They don't want to talk about work. They don't want to. And I see that. I mean, I even see that with Rihanna and ASAP. I'm like,
Stedman.
oh my God, he's the epitome. He's the king of it all.
He is the king, but he knows he needs to do a workshop or something or a documentary on how to stay in place.
Because, okay, this is a good question. Rock music, country, etc., timeless. Hip hop gets aged and value lost. Why? Because of Black people.
Well, I don't know if I agree 100%. I think, listen, there's hip hop music that is timeless. And there's country and rock music. I can name songs that were popular. Let's talk about Achy Breaky Heart. That's not timeless. That was just a moment in time where dude got a hit. Billy Ray Cyrus got a hit, but it's really not timeless. Nobody's playing Achy Breaky Heart today, but you can find some country music played. Just like you throw on certain hip hop and rap songs and everybody's jamming to it today. Kids are jamming to it today. So I think there's certain, but not everything's gonna translate.
I mean, that's a great point. No Saint, but I think what he or she specifically talking about, because they got the good old joint social media. That's right, baby. Keep your relationship safe. I'm all for it. Salute to you too. So I think what they're addressing is that when a rapper is 40 plus, they start telling, oh, how long you gonna be rapping? Like you still rapping at 40 something. And rock and roll stars, country music stars, they give them grace. These guys could be rapping. What's the guy with the 2 fucking braids? The white guy?
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson, yeah.
Willie Nelson. Nobody's telling him, you're too old to be playing that guitar. Nobody's saying that. But, if Nas drops an album or Jay, are you still doing music? But again, I blame that on the Black community because there's a lot of ageism in the Black community. You washed up. You old. Ain't nobody listening because no one else. Who does that to rappers? White people don't do it to rappers. Asians don't do it to rappers. Latins don't do it. Black people are the worst against their own genre, their own favorite genre. That's who does it. That's why there's no longevity, because how many times have we seen that meme and that joke on Facebook? Oh, he's 40 and he's still dropping mixtapes. Who started those jokes? Who started those jokes?
I guess there's a few exceptions. I mean, Snoop Dogg, he still does some music.
Yeah, you're always going to have exceptions to the rule, but overall,
we're forgetting something here. The value isn't lost on certain people, because everyone who broke out of the chitlin circuit and went mainstream, they still have an audience because white people still fuck with them. White people still fuck with Big Daddy Kane. White people still fuck with the Furious Five. White people still fuck with a lot of old school rap. They still fuck with Big Daddy Kane. They still fuck with LL Cool J. No, the young black people don't fuck with them. And there's a small enough, at least a small enough pool of black people who still fuck with the legends that, you know what I mean, it's cool. But in order to really tour like that, these people have to make a name for themselves in the white market. And I'm going to prove something to you. And this is an actual fact. Hip hop would not be where it is today if it wasn't for white people, if it wasn't for a white audience. I don't care what anyone wants to say. You can do your homework. You can do the knowledge. You can think that we didn't need a white audience, but no. You know what I mean? This is fact. There was a time when most albums and CDs were bought by the white youth. Period. That's it.
Oh, and to your point, the Rulers Back actually made that point. Rappers and some of our singers and stuff like that, they do get more love overseas, in the UK and things like that, longer. Look at Waka Flocka, for God's sake. Who is asking about Waka Flocka? But he says he stays on tour in the UK. Even down to them, Kelly Rowland, she stays on tour. Khalees, she's huge over there. So yeah, you're right. I mean, and who is it that's making them huge and putting them on these tours in the UK? It's white Europeans.
Well, I was gonna say, maybe to Haran's point, early on in this country, it was it was good to cross over like that, but now it's worldwide. I mean, I think Two Live Crew got arrested in Japan to a full crowd. You know what I mean? So I mean, now it's a worldwide thing. But maybe to Ron's point, maybe when it was starting up, and maybe some of the, I don't know. I understand what he's saying, though.
Yeah, when it was starting up, it was Chitlin Circuit. It didn't have any respect. It didn't have any respect until it went corporate, right? And so then it was at a weird crossroads, because now it once it went corporate and they started being played on MTV, right? Because at first they didn't play no hip hop on MTV. They was not, as a matter of fact, they would even play, they remember the singers, Mariah used to have to make another version to all of her hip hop songs and stuff. And, and even Mary J. Blige, because they wasn't going to play that version on MTV. But once it went corporate and hit MTV, then it turned into something else. And all the money started changing, the budgets and the video. Remember, they started having $1 million budget videos all of a sudden, the 8 million videos. So, yeah.
And that goes for black music, period. Black people ain't showing up for jazz. White people show up for jazz. Berry Gordy was the reason why, black soul music went mainstream. Yes, he made sure that all of his Motown artists, fit a particular mold so they can basically hit the top of the charts. So yes, white people have a lot to do with why black music is big and global around the board, and where it is today. We don't talk about these things.
Speaking of Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg transcended rap and hip hop. If he dropped an album now, who's gonna give a fuck? But if he's doing a show with Martha Stewart, who's gonna give a fuck? He crossed over. He became the very friendly, happy-go-lucky, non-threatening, broken buck, right? And something that white consumers love is a nice, friendly, broken buck, right? And he's fit into that role very, very well and very nicely. We're talking about somebody who made a career out of saying the most violent, derogatory, disgusting things about his neighborhood, about women in his neighborhood. And now, he's the cuddly Unc Snoop. I still think he's disgusting, but he crossed over very, very well. And the white people love him now. They're like, oh my God. And it's funny because, back in the day, and even today, if somebody white saw Snoop walking down the block, they'd cross the fucking street, right? In real life. But because he's made himself very, very friendly, very, very, hey, I'm the nice guy. This motherfucker's damn near Will Smith.
No, really?
He's damn near Will Smith now.
Damn near, yeah.
He went from murder with the case they gave to, it's like now he's like Martha Stewart's pet.
He's the Black Willie Nelson when it comes to marijuana smoking.
Yeah.
The guy you want to smoke a joint with.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's that guy now. He's that guy now. He's like, yeah, there's money over here with these white folks and not acting like a gangster. There's a lot more money.
Absolutely, the rule is back. White people did show up for MJ and Prince. Yes, he did. You know what I mean?
Right. And Asians are, and they mentioned the Asians as well. Asians are like that as well. They're gonna purchase.
I think that black people winning, especially when it comes to not just music, but just in general, money, politics, power in general. A lot of us need to really come out of our bubble and understand that there's a larger scope at play outside of just our scope. Okay, just because something isn't popping amongst black people doesn't mean that it ain't popping outside of black people. I've seen a number of people say, like, I can't understand why Taylor Swift is so popping. Well, you're not her fucking audience. It's a gang of fucking little white girls out there. A lot of them. You know what I mean? More than you, statistically speaking. So,
well, but ask those same people, why was Kevin Samuels popping, and they'll have a soliloquy for you.
But who knows Kevin Samuels outside of YouTube?
Right.
Respect.
Right.
On the grand scheme of things.
They'll give you every reason.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, say it.
No, I was just gonna say it reminds me, like, I know, like, when hip hop, when certain rappers go mainstream, it used to be in the 90s, like Hammer, when he sold out when he would go do Taco Bell commercials and things like that. People, in the black community, he sold out. And you find that in the white community too. If you think about it, Green Day, when Green Day was kind of underground in the San Francisco Bay Area, it was like people discovered them and they act like they own those people. They act like when they go out and make a living and have a chance to make millions of dollars, that they're supposed to deny that somehow and do what this smaller group did because we were with you in the beginning. But nobody that has a chance to make that kind of money is going to sit in a smaller pond. You should be trying to get into the bigger pond of fish because that's where the money's going to be. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
So I agree with you, and I see some people they're making reference to, why can't someone evolve? I mean, you grow out of things. Here's my thing with people like Snoop, right? He grows out of things when he's pandering to white people and he's licking white ass. However, when he made the appearance on Red Table Talk not that long ago, he was pressed by Jada Pinkett's mother. Your language. She gives you this. Your language, Snoop. And, I just, oh my God, you say bitch. Never mind, this woman was on heroin all up and down, right? Her kids were on the street. She wants to know why Snoop is using the bitch and hoe or whatever. And he said, hey, and I quote, I did a gospel album. I've done a reggae album, right? No one wanted to hear that shit. So I went back to hip hop and I did the bitches and the hoes or whatever. And then people liked it. So these motherfuckers do not evolve. They do not change. What they do is start putting, working more burners. When he's talking to his people, he's very much that thug, okay, from Long Beach. Very much the thug. So they know how to code switch, right? They say the same thing about Cardi B. Don't bring up that she used to be a stripper. The bitch is still twerking, half dressed, still talking about sucking dick and fucking, and we're not
scissoring on stage.
Scissoring on stage with other women, playing the lesbian for pay. These people do not evolve, right? Evolving to me is like, I don't know, an Ice Cube maybe.
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer running around the Jerry curl and talking about an AK. Will was always soft though. Don't let him hear that because he'll get mad.
From hip hop to like this, the America's black guy,
Yeah, but even in hip hop, he was like this.
That's true.
He was right. Yeah. Parents just don't understand. Yeah. Nobody was worried about Will. Right.
I mean, the closest would be Ice Cube.
Snoop hasn't evolved. He's just cracking it for white people now. But if he was to do an album tomorrow, he's not going to be friendly about it. He's going to talk about the bitches and the hoes and the murder and the drugs and his weed, right? It's just he knows how to code switch when he's around Laddie, right? And listen, get it how you live. But I just wanted I just wanted to address the he evolved or people grow out of it. Snoop hasn't grown out of shit. He's still a piece of shit. He's still a serial cheater. He still knows when he's you know, playing to his audience, the black audience, he still knows that the piece of shit sells with them. And he knows that when he's with Martha Stewart, he's the happy-go-lucky, unassuming, non-threatening black guy.
I was going to say, I think, Haran, you might have thrown that out there. Ice Cube kind of did that too, right?
Oh yeah, Ice Cube used to tie up white people in his damn videos. I used to love Cube, man. You know what I mean? Listen,
and then didn't he come out? Wait, making sure I didn't get the right. Didn't he come out with the song? I think this is "We Be Clubbing." Was that him too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was kind of mainstream, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, Public Enemy. I thought Public Enemy was one of the most dangerous fucking bands on the face of the planet. Man, these motherfuckers is fucking selling. Look at Flavor Flav. The motherfucker was standing with chicks, being a complete fucking clown. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers is dancing for peanut butter. Now, look, listen. I am not going to be a hypocrite here, okay? All right. Growing up, this is a guy who would spend his nights going to sleep listening to Malcolm X and Khalid Muhammad motherfucking tapes. Okay, like that is who I was. I was on it like that. You know what I mean? I remember, you know what I mean, Khalid Muhammad used to always say, when you see a cracker, kill a cracker. Now, am I living that kind of mentality now or living that kind of life? Absolutely fucking not. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be economically viable to me right now to live that kind of life. And plus, you know what I mean, if I did live that kind of life, it would be worth fucking nothing because nobody's going to run with me into the fucking fire. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers going to watch me, you know what I mean, ruin my fucking life. You know what I mean? Kill my fucking opportunities and be like, damn, that was a real nigga though. I don't want to be a real nigga. I'd rather be a paid
real nigga.
I don't want to be a real nigga. I don't. I know too many real niggas that's fucked up right now. You know what I mean? Malcolm X was a real nigga. Okay, Khalid Muhammad was a real nigga. You know what I mean? I want to be a paid nigga.
So Tristan says, yeah, but isn't that them catering to their black audience because that's what black people want to hear? Yeah, that's what he said. That's what Snoop said. He said when he did the gospel album, the reggae album, nobody really fucked with it. So then he went back to the bitches and the hoes thing and people ate it up. So yeah.
I mean, it's an unfortunate truth. And anyone who's been in the space of entertainment, and let me just say any black person that's been in the space of entertainment that has a black audience, right? We know what sells. We know what sells. But if we say it, then we're the bad guy. But the sales prove it. It's just that simple. So that's why I don't get upset sometimes when I see certain things because I'm like, it's supply and demand. It's business 101.
There's no audience accountability. Let's just call it what it is. There's never any fucking audience accountability.
Audience accountability.
No, because you guys show up, you talk all this hot shit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we need more of this and we need more of that. And the industry is plotting to put men in jail and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Then they drop Bitch Please. And all of a sudden, everybody's on the dance floor, women included. So let's just call it what it is, which was a hot record, which was an amazing fucking record. I was out there too. You know what I mean? Grooving to that shit. Chicks all over me. It was dope. But I'm not full of shit. You know what I mean? And also I can still appreciate, you know, and still show up for so-called conscious music or the underground music or the music that doesn't really, you know what I mean, get the light that it should get. I still support those people with my dollars or I show up to the shows. You motherfuckers don't do that. White people do that. For instance, The Roots, probably particularly one of the last great black bands, had a primarily white audience. Primarily white audience. If it wasn't for white people, they wouldn't have ate. Period.
So welcome, Brother Ish, to the Black Baby. Pistol Pete says Snoop is 57, still throwing gang signs while living in his mansion in Malibu, playing Madden on Twitch. So again, I'm just saying, like, it's not it's for real. I'm like I say, he didn't outgrow any. I mean, motherfucker was crip walking at the Super Bowl, right? It's like Snoop didn't change. He just knows how to crack them for Whitey. I said it. You could quote me on
He's
that.
got, he's got the money to do that, but you got 57-year-olds still crip walking in the hood and living in their mama's basement. You know what I mean? So he's in line with the lifestyle. It's just he has a better address. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
yeah, but he may throw up the set, but he ain't going out there to do no drive-bys.
Oh no, he's not putting in no work. He ain't standing up for the hood at all. He's like, y'all need to figure that out.
Right.
He'll drive by Long Beach, drop off sprinkle little chips here and there, and keep on going.
Right. Yeah, I think we know this. James Oko talking to you, Haran. I think we know this already.
Yeah, he's right. I said that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for them, then they wouldn't have the careers that they have. They wouldn't have the capital that they have today. If they didn't quote unquote sell out, because all the ones that kept it real, like the Papooses.
Who?
Not the Papooses.
You see what I'm saying?
Who?
You see what I'm saying?
Who?
This is so wrong. This is so wrong. I was trying to be nice, y'all. Mayan King Revisited says, then it's Black people's fault for making gangster rap popular. Black people talk about wanting more conscious music, but don't put their money behind conscious rap.
I mean, I was Sylvia Rohn, who was a top executive in the record industry at one point, had a conversation with one of her lower rung A&Rs, and I shouldn't say lower rung, but one of her A&Rs. And, they're talking the whole conscious conversation of, oh man, we need to, this is affecting the community and we need to do this and we need to do that. So then that following Monday morning, he walks into the meeting and he puts on the table, conscious rapper number 1, gangster thug rapper number 2. And, she says, okay, we're going to sign gangster rapper. And he's like, well, we were just Friday night. We were just talking about, what was going on in the community and how did she said, yeah, but gangster rapper number 2 is going to make us money. And that's what we're here to do.
Sylvia Rohn is a special case. She's a wonderful lady.
Oh,
that's nice.
I'm just gonna go to the next comment by James Oko. Because this one I love too. They always bring out 2 people to say, well, look, there's J. Cole and Kendrick. There's J. Cole and Kendrick, guys. There's J. Cole and then there's J. Cole and Kendrick, and then there's J. Cole and Kendrick.
So J. Cole and Kendrick are 2 of the biggest rappers.
Ignoring
good
the other
kids.
45 rappers that are out there.
Good kids and not bangers at all. Did you say? Oh, I thought you meant bangers, gangsters at all. Yeah, they're great. J. Cole and Kendrick, they're good.
And let's just keep
like
it.
You don't like J. Cole?
Well,
fucking boring as shit.
He is.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Kendrick. If I had a choice between the 2.
Right.
He just sounds like somebody's choking him every time he's rapping. It's like
he's what?
It sounds like somebody's choking him while he's rapping. It's like
Cole.
Kendrick.
No, Kendrick.
Kendrick.
Yeah, he has things that I like, but I've tried to listen. I can't listen to a full album.
Wait a minute. You used to rap, Ish. Give us something.
Bust a rhyme.
There you go. Give us some bars.
No, I'm retired. I don't.
Boo.
No,
come on.
I
assume
I'm Issa Rae. I'm rapping in the bathroom mirror. I'm in the shower busting rhymes, but I'm not.
Okay.
They don't have like special music at the Nation where you go up on stage and.
They actually do. I mean, they're actually.
Pistol Pete is stupid.
and there are actually a lot of talented individuals that are within the ranks that you know, and then you have like
imagine.
you know the ones who kind of cross the threshold, like Jay Electronica, who's you know has a very unique career. He's kind of like the Miles Davis of hip hop right now, where he'll just put out a record when he's ready, and then it just comes, and then he doesn't like do formal releasing, but it's like millions of streams automatically, and you know, so and then he goes hiding somewhere.
James, I didn't say conscious is boring. I didn't say conscious is boring, James. I said cold is boring. You say conscious.
Yeah,
But
we love conscious rap, but Jay is boring. I don't care. It doesn't matter if he's talking about bitches or bean pies. He's boring. Like J. Cole is boring. He has no presence. He's boring, and that's okay. Like
Young Jeezy is gangster. Young Jeezy is gangster, and he's whack.
Yeah.
Does that mean I don't gangster music? No, you know, there's a lot of gangster shit out there.
Right now, listen, Afro beats and reggaeton. That's my shit. Afro beats and reggaeton, and they're crushing hip hop. They are crushing hip hop. So I'm all about Afro beats and reggaeton. Those are my two favorite genres right now. I don't want to hear nobody else. I don't want to hear no Beyonce. I don't want to hear no Cardi B. I don't want to hear nobody but Afro beats and reggaeton. Pistol P said, let's talk about how Cardi B and people like Sexy Red are turning these young girls into huas. The way he spelled it.
Jen, you said it years ago. The hoes are winning. The hoes are winning. Like they have literally taken over the game, taken over the culture. Actually, it's.
I started
the red carpet, and then you can see Hunts Point and Figueroa, which are like hostros, notorious national hostros, and everybody looks the same.
That's what I say.
Like it's actually a sad state of our community, you know, in general. That is the new standard. Like I literally cannot see the difference. I can drive up Figueroa and see a woman scantily clad, and then I can turn on ABC and see a red carpet and see the same outfit.
Seriously.
Gross too. Those BBLs are gross. They look like walking keloids. Those women look like nobody could go up a flight of stairs or downstairs without help. This is what they look like walking fucking keloids, just swollen and hard and fucking stuffed. They look stuffed.
I don't think hoes were ever losing. I just think hoes just went mainstream.
That's all. They're mainstream and winning.
They always had
right. And every time I was saying that, they was like, hoes are not winning. They get used. Hoes are not winning. Hoes are winning, bitch.
I've been saying that for years, and people get so upset when I say that. But I'm like, turn on your television, turn on your social media, turn on your radio, right? And I'm talking mainstream, because they always want to dig down into the couch cushions and say, well, look, there's Chica. And there's Rhapsody. Well, who's checking for them? They're great. They're great. But who's checking for them? Not you.
Right.
No.
How is he defining hoes? Is he just defining hoes as people wearing, you know, the BBL women? Is that what
who's he?
Or whoever's making the comment about hoes aren't winning?
Maybe the whole culture.
The culture, the identity, it's not even just, it doesn't fall into the specification of like BBLs. It's just a whole identity, you know, just inundated with sex talk and dressing like a prostitute.
Because every song from the female rapper is literally the exact same song at this point. They're going to tell you how wet and tight and good it is. And how much money
I just wish the women were, God, can you be attractive at least? Is that too much to ask for? Like they all got the big fake chicklet teeth, the swollen BBLs, the wigs with the baby hair stuck on their forehead. It's just unsightly. It's so fucking unsightly is what bothers me. Then they get the mask, like the Jim Carrey mask surgery, and they get their jaws squared out. Like, They're fucking unsightly. It's gross.
And they're half our age and look older than us. I'm like, all of that surgery makes them look so old. Like I look at these girls and I'm like, they're in their 20s, they're looking like they're in their late 40s, early 50s, some of them.
Well, you know, I will sit here and say that surgery, the acceptance of surgery on a mainstream level is the reason for a lot of this. A lot of these girls don't have to look naturally beautiful. Back in our days, you know what I mean, 90s and so on and so forth or whatever, these girls had to be gorgeous, tight, all these things because surgery wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? You know, back in the days of Melissa Ford, her era and so on and so forth, and going down the line of that. Now you could be fairly decent. You just go down to Miami. They put some concrete in your butt. They chop your fucking face up. You know what I mean? They do some shit like in the fucking Joker movie. They wheel you out there and put you in a blood bag, give you some raps, and then you got a career.
I'm like, you know, they talk about how those women come back on the flights from the Dominican
on their
Republic.
knees. They're sitting on the plane the whole time.
Yeah, because they can't sit on their ass.
Listen,
you know that shit, I had no clue of the procedure. I mean, when you sent me that video, I said, "What the fuck?" And you know, lay down like that for months.
Let me tell you, my bestie is a flight attendant. And he's like, I'm not doing any more fucking flights from DR to Atlanta. He's like, it's all BBL bitches that refuse to sit their ass down. And he's like, FAA requires me to stay on your BBL ass to keep your BBL ass in the chair. I don't give a fuck. You decided to go out to the DR and do this. You should have planned it better, okay? But you're not going to get me fired. But it's just a flight full of girls who want to do this and you know, they can't
sit on their asses. They can't.
But you know, Haran, you're so right. When we were in our prime, it used to be like it wasn't. Well, I was in my prime before probably you were, but it wasn't. It wasn't accepted, right? I mean, remember, like you would ask a girl, "Are those fake boobs?" And, no, these aren't fake boobs. No, these are real.
Yeah, it used to be a secret. Now,
y'all don't remember. No, y'all don't remember when weaves were not accepted. Do y'all not remember? Like that was a read. Like bitches that had them tracks.
And you know the irony of it. Anybody ever? Y'all remember "I'ma Get You, Sucker"?
Yes.
Remember that scene when he was about to hit? She took the hair off, she took the leg off, and I said to myself, like, that's some prophetic shit because it's pretty much what we're going through right now.
Yeah.
But off, you know what I mean? Just all this kind of shit. It's amazing to watch.
Don't make me hop for you. Don't make me hop after you. No, but Jen, so it used to be a secret, and now I don't know. What is it? 90% of the women?
It's gotta be 90.
It's gotta be 90.
Let's say 35, 40% maybe. I don't even know if it's that high, but it's like not a big deal. Like,
no, now it's almost like it's almost a badge of it's a flex. It's a badge of honor. Like I literally see girls arguing in the comments of these BBL walking kilos, like, oh, you just mad because you can't go afford it. Like now that's the new flex. Like before it was like, oh, this Gucci bag or these red bottoms. Now it's like, yeah, bitch, that's why you can't afford a BBL. Like it's a flex now, where before it used to be like forbidden to let people know. No, I didn't have a nose job. I had my sinuses. I had problems breathing. And Cherie said that the other day on fucking Housewives. Like, oh my bitch.
That's from the 90s. That's a 90s lie.
What are we doing? Cherie, whatever the fuck. And I halfway agree with you. James Ogo says, whether Afro beats or reggaeton, they all birthed from hip hop. And reggaeton, it was birthed from reggae.
Okay, I do want to put up James.
And Afro beats is a whole other sound entirely.
Yeah,
now, are there
all the way back to 70s jazz and soul? So that's it's a continuation of that, because the first African hit was Mama Makossa, So Makossa, which was an artist from Cameroon. So
how does that go?
It's the dun 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 dun.
Mama Su, Mama
Right,
Kusa.
exactly.
Okay, I was like, oh.
That's the first African hit that went internationally global, and that's actually the foundation of hip hop. So that's it. That's really Afro beats comes from that more so than anything. That and Fela, Nigeria.
I want to highlight James' last comment because I've been meaning to talk about this.
Are we really, Pistol Pete? Come on, I was rooting for you. I was rooting for you, Pistol Pete. We were all rooting for you. What comment you need,
So
Lily?
his last comment says it makes it hard to tell if they are women.
Oh, okay, got
right? So me and my bestie talk about this a lot. This is very Twilight Zone to me because that BBL look is synonymous with the old school trans woman look.
Yeah.
Like that is that look is literally like how every trans woman looked back in the day. Mostly because back in the day, trans women were not being hired. Like I told Mr. Research yesterday, like we weren't being hired until like 5 years ago into like regular jobs. So the majority of trans women were sex workers, and so they got those bodies like over pumped, right? Over pumped hips and over pumped breasts and and usually it was like Haran said, it was fix a flat, all types of cement, all kinds of little fun things, Crisco and all kind of things that were pumped into their asses and breasts to get this look that and the lips and the cheekbones, all of that. And I just remember one day walking down the street and looking up and it's like, hold up, something's happening. There's a shift here. And trans women are now looking more natural. I mean, completely undetectable. I even know a few that I know they're trans and they are completely undetectable. But I'm like, but biological women are now starting to look like trans women, and trans women are starting to look like biological women. But just seeing that look become so mainstream on biological women, but knowing when I'm used to seeing that look, I'm used to seeing a trans woman. So it's very Twilight Zone to see now.
They remind me of drag performers, actually, like all the padding that drag performers, to make their hips more, get that hourglass shape. That's what they remind me of. Like they look like caricatures of women, which is what I thought drag queens look like.
That's what drag queens are. Well, drag queens are characters of women. They're not meant to look like women. They're meant to be like over exaggerated, over sexualized, over feminized, big, like big hair. They're gonna have 14 wigs on and triple Z boobs and So they're giving pumped up drag queen, but usually theirs come off like I'm gonna get you sucker, and then the old school trans woman who was typically a sex worker. So that was to attract more Johns.
So yeah, I mean, I can see how you can't tell, you know what I mean, if they're biological women. It's just too much. And then the makeup, there's pounds and pounds of makeup, like pounds.
How are you going to get your face surgically contoured and then have a makeup artist contour you to the gods with makeup on top of the contour of the surgery? That's another thing. The reason why old school trans and drag queens did all of that is because they had masculine features. It was to soften their masculine features. But if you have feminine features and you do all of that, it's going to make you look masculine. But they don't see that.
And that's weird to me that that they because I get the features to look, the surgery to look more feminine, but the features that these women are getting, like the way they're blocking off their jaw, makes absolutely no sense to me. And then they stuff their cheeks, so it gives them a very block jaw look, like Black China. And you saw Black China was removing all that shit. Like it makes them look like I'm like, it's weird. So you want to look like men who are making caricatures of women, and you're pretending to be the men who have made caricatures of women. It's a bizarre time. It's a bizarre time.
It's very Twilight Zone, because I'm telling you, when I see that look, my brain, because of the way it's wired, I see a trans girl. And then I have to remember, oh, it's not a trans girl because that look has my whole life up until a few years ago has been a trans woman. So difficult for me. The mind
I'm
games. I
looking
can't deal with it.
the mind games. I'm looking for my little skit. I did this so long ago. Like I wore, I mean, we're talking like 7, 8 years ago was the first time I did the whole pillow butt thing. And then
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I did, and that was just a picture. This was back when I lived in the Bronx. And then I was like, I want to do a whole skit about this. But this was so long ago. And when I did this, I really didn't think that, I swear, I didn't think it was going to be as bad as what we're seeing today, where these girls are bloody as fuck on their Instagram and just really, really gross shit.
I didn't until right before I moved from Atlanta and I was living downtown. And when I started looking around and everybody had a fucking BBL, and I was like, I'm looking at my body. I look like an alien compared to everybody I was seeing. It was so weird to look at. I was like, this is weird.
What is happening?
Right.
Let me see if I can find this video. I got to play this for y'all before we get out of here. There's our little commercial break. Where is this thing?
I was going to say that it's a deep dynamic to see, because even though, going back to what you were talking about, Lily, as far as the look and, you know, contriving your look to look like a female, but still, there's still this aspect that you're still a man. So that man, the beard is still coming back at some point. So the razor stubble pops up, or there's other aspects to your masculine structure that you can't alter to some degree to still hide that you're masculine. Not you personally, but I'm saying
these days it's a different story now. I can't even tell. Even after they tell me, I can't tell. Wow. It's a different day. That's why I said it's a complete reversal, because the trans girls, they are completely undetectable, you all. I'm telling you, you are not going to know. You're not going to know, because they're no longer doing the exaggerated looks, because now we can get jobs. Now we can be in corporate America. And a lot of them want to stay under the radar. They're not trying to be, they just want to live their life. They're not out here, you know, saying crazy shit on the internet like, oh, let me do, like, no, they're completely undetectable. Trust me on this. I'm telling you, I know several of them. Even after they tell me, I'm just looking like, there's no way in the world. There's no way in the world. Right. But now the biological women are looking like the old school trans women. It's very, very interesting. Like these girls, the trans girls that I know, they give you 90s beauty. Very natural. I feel like a lot of them don't even wear makeup.
It's weird though, but a lot of them, like, I can always, like, if you look at them long enough, there's always something that's off. Like there's this one that's really beautiful. She's Miss, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know if she was Miss Nevada or Miss something. Just stunning when she's standing still and not talking. But when she gets to walking and talking and moving, and she's stunning, slim, trim thing. When she gets to talking, there's something about the hip area that's just like, there's something off there, right? And you can't really put your finger on it. I forgot.
The news lady that was
Miss
like
Nevada.
The news lady that was like very attractive, that was very popular, kind of brown skin color, but she was like always like on MSNBC, and she was like an on-air news personality. That she was trans.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you talking about
she was
Cox?
Hoda
You said she's fine? Okay, no, she's not. No, the Cox chick ain't fine, so it's not her.
Yeah, no, it was like, and like to this day, you still kind of like you know what I mean? Like you just,
So you would smash it? That's what you're saying?
No, I would not smash.
You said she was fine.
Hey, fine is fine until like, nope, that's not going to work.
Okay, I'm just checking. Here's my little video. Wait, let me see if I got sound. Where are we? Oh, here we go.
Your love and hip hop application been rejected because you don't look like this? Are you tired of having less than 1 million followers? No rappers or athletes sliding into your DMs? Ever dreamt of starring in a rap video or marrying well? Over and over. Well, worry no more. Fix the Flat is here. Fix the Flat will swell your little lady parts to epic proportions. No working out necessary, but acting like it mandatory. Get your Fix the Flat today.
Side effects include deadbeat baby daddies, cat fights, lawsuits, being put on blast by wives and side chicks, upper and lower back pain, and possibly death.
Not the possibly dead.
I love you. Gotta send me that one.
Joke. That was a joke. And now these women are dying.
Yeah.
It was a joke, y'all.
Yeah.
And now they're dying.
They are. For just
listen,
weird...
I be ahead of the game. I'm trying to tell y'all, rock with me. I be ahead of the game.
You gotta send me that. I gotta post that. That is hilarious.
I was like, I never thought that these women would literally be dying. And we only heard about the popular chick because she was with DC Youngfly. But there's a lot more of them girls dying.
Oh, listen. So I got some friends that's in the dog. They call it the dog community. It's a big community. Like it's a real thing. Like
what's it called?
It's called the doll, or they either call dolls or vixens. The dolls are the more natural ones. The vixens are what you did. That's a vixen. It's a real community. And so one of my friends, she's always sending me stuff because like it's just deep, y'all. Like once you get in, you're like, oh my God. And they share all this information and stuff. And this is a normal occurrence. Girls dying on the table, girls dying after the surgery, because what happens is a couple of things. The reason why they go overseas is because here, legally, the regulations only allow them to take out a certain amount of fat through the liposuction and or to do a certain amount of procedures at one time. In the DR or Mexico or Colombia, they don't have those regulations. So you can get your whole body from head to toe done in one day, which they should not be. There's a lot of trauma on the body. And yes, and then the other thing is it's like almost like tattoos, y'all. It's very addicting. So they talk about their rounds, like, oh, I'm going in for round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5. And so usually around round 4, shit goes a little haywire. So
shit. Pistol Pete, the question, James Oko said, if a straight man sleeps with a trans, do you consider him gay, Jen? No, I don't consider him gay. I mean, I don't know. I guess if he's taking a penis to the ass, I would think he was gay. It depends. It depends. I don't know. Because some you could chalk that up to like some men want the best of both worlds. I guess it's kind of like lesbians. They get with a stud because she's acting hardcore like a man, but then she's not a man. Maybe that woman wants the best of both worlds. She gets to have the masculine energy without being with a man. Because men are a lot of work, man. Y'all ain't no song fussy. Y'all are not easy.
And I know in the Black community, people don't like to hear this, but it's the truth. A lot of men like the best of both worlds, right? When you look at even a host role, a trans host role or a cross-dressing host role, it's always going to be popping more than any other host role. And you look at porn, trans porn is the highest porn, right? A lot of people like the best of both worlds. And that's why I keep telling y'all, there is no such thing as this cookie cutter mold that they try to put us in. It's just human sexuality at the end of the day. Humans are sexual, period, point blank. They see shit, they like shit, they fuck shit.
I think there's a normalization that's going on.
It's always been like that, Ish. Always.
But I mean, I think because people are not able to kind of voyeuristically explore and go through that curiosity zone a lot in the privacy of their own lives, you know, that opens up I feel like that's a gateway scenario, because then they become desensitized to the stigma of it.
I learned this years before social media.
The name of the lady I was talking about was Janet Ma.
Janet Mock, she's pretty, but you can tell with Janet Mock when certain angles, I can see it. The ones I'm talking about, I'm telling you, I be looking and angles and up and down the board. I be like, God damn. I'm talking about no make. A lot of them don't wear makeup. The ones I'm talking about, and if they do, it's very little, very little.
You could tell with Janet Mock. You could tell.
Yeah, you could tell with Janet. Yeah,
you could tell with Janet.
I love to have these conversations when like for instance, a lot of your boys is into really young girls. Y'all don't really talk about that though.
Very true.
A lot of you niggas hang around pedos.
I understand what Ish is saying, the normalization of it. It was before it was forbidden down low. Now it's like everybody's out in the open. Yeah, I'm dating a trans woman. Yeah, back then it was like, oh no, it's forbidden. Now it's like, yeah, it's like, that's what I'm doing. And a lot of celebrities especially are not coming out and saying that as well. Before it was a career killer. Now it's like it's a career booster.
Well, you know what I'm seeing now? The only difference I'm seeing now, there's only one difference, which is a big difference. Before we were sex objects only. Now I'm seeing people come out for relationships, right? It's the normalization of relationships are the only things that I've seen change. But as far as sexually, that I learned that shit years before I even had a clue that I was gonna identify as trans one day. And my mind was blown because society would tell you, don't nobody want, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what society would tell you. And then my mind was fucking blown. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is, and then
that was the stigma. That was the stigma. Like nobody, even though we knew all that shit was going on since the beginning of time. This didn't start in the 90s. Like it didn't start in the 90s.
But, even in the early phases of hip hop, it's in the subject matter of early hip hop records. You know what I mean?
What about Bombada and all? Yeah, I mean, this shit been going on. But again, it was way before
beyond
the 90s.
Bombada, but even just in the actual context of a hip hop song is like I can't think of the song now, but I think it was a Slick Rick record, and it was like, they were looking at this girl, and then she turned out to be a guy, and that's like always been the thing all through the early years of hip hop. So
dude looks like a lady.
There you go, all that.
Yeah, it's been around forever. People and then artists are more free because they got money and power, and they don't give a fuck what you think about them because they know that they have the power of appeal. They know you're still gonna buy the record. I mean, these guys are pedophiles running around, and what do we hear? I'm still bumping that R. Kelly, girl. I don't care, because it's not their kid, right? So it's like, I'm still stepping in the name of love, girl. It's why? Because there's power and money and fame or whatever. Pistol Pete, I was talking about. You said. First of all, yes, I am a revolutionary for me and mine, not for the community, because the community is full of shit. But I was what I said when I said we was rooting for you. You said I've been telling the alphabets are doing everything to legalize pedophilia. Look at the madness going on and what they're showing the kids. That's a.
What are they showing?
That's where I said I was. The people who are trying to legalize. First of all, that's a rumor to villainize.
Right. And y'all fall for it because y'all already hate. Y'all already want to hate. So they're looking, they're always looking like, I know they did something. That's it. They wanted the children.
Before the alphabet legalizes pedophilia, if that's what you think's happening, the Catholic Church will legalize before
exactly.
that.
Yeah, for sure. Not only the Catholic Church, but I've read at least 2 articles where white women mute your mic ish. I've read 2 articles where white women, heterosexual white women who call themselves psychiatrists, psychologists, they're trying to normalize pedophilia. They're saying that it's a sexual desire like any other. Look it up, Google it. I'm not lying. Them bitches had nothing to do with the quote unquote alphabet people. Okay, two white bitches talking about, hey, look, it's not we're villainizing these men, but it's a desire like any other sexual desire. So I think that you should look into that. Also, the Catholic, I mean the Catholic faith, they say it's the biggest pedophile database in the world.
Absolutely.
Period. But see, people will overlook that because, like I said, people want to hate the alphabet community. So they're going to actively seek something. But that's why this particular rumor is always so funny because that they've been trying to do this since as long as I was born and probably before that. They always try to tie us to being predators, even though you never, ever, ever hear about it. I'm pretty sure there's some outliers around there. But it's like, how often do you pick up anything and like, trans woman, molest or whatever. Like you don't ever hear that, but for some reason they want to equivalate alphabet people to being
Sexual
predators.
deviants.
It's
Yeah,
so
sexual
weird.
deviants.
But there's no without evidence. But when you have a mountain of evidence at your church, they will refuse to look at that. It's just so weird to me how people
God
operate.
forgives. God forgives, and only God can judge, Lily.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Well, Lily, go ahead.
R. Kelly is allowed to live in the black community, but despite his transgressions, because they don't really, a number of them don't believe that boys were also involved in his tirades.
Yeah,
he was doing things to young men too. You know, I mean, this is actually a part of the case that was brought against him. But
by the way,
pedophilia is fine in the black community, just as long as it's young girls. Just as long as you ain't putting boys in, and shit like that. Anyway, go ahead, Jen.
And what's insane is that pedophilia, if you do not know, pedophiles are not gender specific.
No.
Okay, they don't just target little boys or little girls. They target whatever children are around, which is why in the Catholic faith it's usually little boys, because little boys are altar boys. That is why. It's not because they prefer little boys, it's because they have access to many, many, many little boys, but they are not gender specific. Pedophiles are like, if it's a child, it's okay with me, right? So
and
it's like,
let's kill the argument right now. You're cool with it just as long as, let's say, I don't know, a teacher's fucking a 15-year-old kid. Because how many women have been hauled off to jail for fucking your son?
It's celebrated. Where was that teacher when I was growing up? It's celebrated.
So
it's celebrated.
Pick your pedophilia. I guess we're in that we're in that mode right now. No, obviously that's what we are now as a society.
We've always been there. We've always been there.
Always. Oh my God. Whatchamacallit, Jupiter Gone Wild says, this situation reminds me of people that feel comfortable admitting that they are drug addicts. Back in the day, people would be ashamed to admit that they are addicted to pills. This is true. Like a lot of rappers are doing odes to being drug addicts now. You got Molly, Percocet. Like it's like lean. Like they're all talking about being drug addicts. It's very interesting. Very interesting times that we're in.
Well, they went from say no to drugs to I sell drugs to I do lots and lots of drugs.
I'm in the middle. Sold them. Allegedly.
Oh, Lord.
I'm saying there may have been a girl back in the late 80s.
I moved from one end of the spectrum to the other. I skipped the middle. I'm an extremist.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Jupiter Gone Wild says a few years ago, 2 white female teachers sexually abused a boy and someone called him gay for reporting it. Yeah, we see that a lot. Like boys are not supposed to tell that they're being molested. And let me tell you from experience, I told you guys this story before. I know 2 grown ass Black men who were molested, and both of them are fucked up sexually. Both of them. But they talked about it like it's like, oh, it's no big deal. And I'm like, no, we need to, as a woman, I'm like, no, we need to talk about this. This was wrong. Like what happened to you was wrong. Like this is child abuse. And they're like, oh, it ain't a big deal. I'm like, no, you're fucked up. Okay. It's not okay. Obviously, you're not living with it well, obviously, but men are like, no, they can't say that they were molested because they feel like less of a man. Like I'm supposed to be molested. It's okay that someone was playing with me at 6 or 7. I'm a man. It's sad. It's sad.
I can always tell. Go ahead.
A lot of Black men are hypersexual because they were touched by older women when they were younger. We don't have those.
Exactly.
We don't have those kinds of conversations. I mean, if we really want to talk about it, see, I'll talk about the uncomfortable shit, not the shit you want to talk about. I'll talk about the real shit. A lot of aunties, a lot of best friends, your mama's best friends, and so on and so forth. A lot of babysitters was passing these kids around.
Right, exactly.
Men around, and they grew up with these with this shit in them.
Yeah, I can tell at this point because there's this certain thing, there's this certain energy, and I'll
IQ of a shoelace. He's IQ of a fucking
I can't.
Are you
It's
serious?
too late in the stream to get into that.
Fucking serious?
Yeah.
Are you literally?
This is what we're dealing with.
It's really. Listen, I'm gonna say this, and I've said it before. I said it before. I'm gonna say this, and I'll pass the mic. No, say I know you want to say something. Please, I implore you. I beg you. I got 40 people watching right now. First and foremost, hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. The second thing I want to say, and then I will pass the mic, and we could close. I implore you. I beg of you. I beg of you. Please protect your little boys like you protect your little girls. Please. They target little boys because they know that you're not watching for little boys to get molested and touched. They know this, okay?
Yep.
Everybody's protecting the little girls and the little pink dresses and close your legs and you have to be this and you have to be that. No one is watching out for the little boys, but let me tell you, Black men specifically are hypersexual because they were touched when they were little. I know men personally, one who was very hypersexual and the other one who had severe erectile dysfunction in his early 30s. Please, I implore you, okay, stop teaching little boys that it's okay to get pussy at any age. It is not. It is a violation. You ruin them for life. Do you understand? For life. They never get over it. They never get over it. They do not cope with being molested. Please protect. I'll say it again and I'll pass the mic. Please protect your little boys the way you protect your little girls. No one is watching out for the little boys. Please protect your little boys. Please. Don't send them over to nobody's house. Don't leave them with the uncle. Don't send them with the best friend who wants to take them for ice cream and to play baseball and put them in his football league. These motherfuckers target, okay, areas where little boys are going to be. The Boy Scouts, Little League, Football League. Watch out for your little boys, please. No saying, I'm passing the mic.
It's funny you mentioned the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts. I took my youngest to a Cub Scout meeting and we left out of there. It was, I mean, listen, it's dated, but it was creepy. I mean, I was looking around, I'm like, these scout leaders, and I'm like, this is just a little creepy, you know, a little creepy to me.
What made it creepy?
Oh, it just didn't feel like, well, part of it was, I think, just being out of place as far as like, they kind of take they incorporate religion when they're talking about stuff, Christian, praying and things like that. But it was just like I was thinking, I don't know if I'd let it. I don't think we thought about this back in the, 80s and, the Boy Scouts. I don't know if we thought about it as being odd, but it's just odd. Like you'll send your kid off with some scout leader somewhere. And trust this person with your kids that nothing's gonna, even if it's not from that leader, that nothing is gonna be, nothing's gonna happen.
I was in the some form of Boy Scouts early on, and I remember back then looking at certain scout leaders, and it's like, this dude don't seem very dude. You know what I mean? Like, you can just kind of read that there's some oddities, and you kind of steered clear of that person. But yeah, that energy has always been around that whole environment. And also Pistol Pete, that statement about old dude and it's okay for an older hot teacher to smash a 15-year-old boy. Take the pistol and go out here and handle your personal business. That was a ridiculous statement. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say, listen, Pistol Pete, you need to change your name, because Pistol Pete was the Larry Bird before Larry Bird was Larry Bird. Pistol Pete is rolling in his grave. Don't make comments like that on Pistol Pete's name.
Yeah, and again, I always say watch how you talk around children, because let's say a kid younger than 15, 13 or 14 got molested, and he hears good old uncle or good old bro, you know what I mean, saying, "Hey, that's not a big deal." It's not the same. If a girl gets molested, that's different, but if a boy gets molested at 13, 14, that's not the same thing. That child is hearing that, and you're fucking with his head forever, and then he thinks it's okay. Another thing you do, don't bribe your children. Parents are good at that. If you do this, I'll give you this. Don't do that, because you make them vulnerable to people who manipulate. Okay, if you do this, I will give you this. And little kids, because they're people pleasers and they want love, 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 they will do this so they can get that. Be careful about the language you use. It's 2023. Okay, there's lots of information out there that you can raise your children to be smart and wise and speak up for themselves. But again, I stress, look out for the little boys. The little girls are covered. You already know that. Where you going? Who that? Where did it? You know what I mean? They're very much protected. Watch out for these boys, please.
That's one thing I said. My parents did not play that shit. Looking back, my mother definitely didn't play, but my father didn't either. Like, to the point where he was really big on, when I was growing up. To your point, Jen, if an adult offers you something, come to me first. You don't accept shit. No money, no candy. I mean, my father didn't play them games. Like, if somebody try to give me something, I was like this. Like, I ain't taking it. I ain't taking it. And my mother, she was very protective. And so that's not a part of my story. The thing is, I've been around a lot of people whose story that is. And like I say all the time, I'm really good at watching people, and I started seeing patterns. I'm like, every single person has the same thing. They're either hypersexual or anti-sexual, right? That's been touched, right? And so my youngest brother is 25 years younger than me. So he's like my baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he was younger, he was always with me. Like, you would have thought he was my baby. That little boy never left my sight. Never, because I always had this thing, like, not on my watch. I might not be his parent, and I might have him a lot, but not on my watch. He ain't gonna be telling some story at 30 and crying in somebody's therapist's office talking about somebody touched him on my watch, because I didn't trust nobody around. Like, I just felt like I had that responsibility. He's a
Right.
child,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And I still, I chalk it up to, my dad being a tyrant, because first of all, people were afraid of him. Second of all, he didn't do the sleepover shit. We didn't do none of that. He was super strict, and you know, that shit was big in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The pedophilia running rampant in our communities and our families, that shit was big. And these motherfuckers would be at the christenings, at the barbecue, at the party, like nothing fucking happened. And I'm so glad that that's not part of my story either, Lily. But my dad was like, and that shit, like little girls sitting on people's laps and people holding your hand and playing with your hair and playing with your face, like, a lot of adults do with children, right? Because that could be a part of grooming. Yeah, nobody was fucking with my dad, and then in turn, nobody was fucking with us. But a lot of parents aren't on it like that. They're worn out, they're tired, so they leave their kid with, "Oh, I need a break, girl. Come get this boy." You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. You have to be very extremely careful. Pongojo.
That's right. Lily, I'm gonna steal that too. What your father used to do, I'm gonna utilize that as a parent. Like any adult offer you something, you tell me.
Yeah, that's a great tip.
Yeah,
because that's part of grooming. That's part of grooming.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you this if you know what I mean. And kids are so precious and vulnerable. Sleepless society. I'm really sorry that happened to you. I'm really sorry that happened to you, and that is the case. Like, little boys just don't know that it's wrong, and the stories that I've heard from adult males are horrific. To even imagine that that's what you went through as a child, and you're confused, and then the older folks are like, "No, you're a man now." Like, just last week I heard a horrific story from someone I know personally that shattered my heart into pieces. Like the things that his big brother put him through. You know what I mean? Having older girls over and no one was there because the mother was working 24 hours a day. She had to keep food on the table for them boys. And the older boy was just like, it was a fucking, turnstile of
Mm-hmm.
older bitches who were in the house and partying. And unfortunately, he became a victim of molestation for many years. This is the shit that happens. This shit is real. And then these men grow up and they can't function. They can't function. So be careful. With that said, we will see you guys here mañana. Okay. We'll see what we're talking about. I did want to talk about hate watching today, but we just went somewhere else with it, like the block usually does. So maybe we'll get into it tomorrow. Don't forget, you can suggest topics or something that we miss on the block with Jen at Gmail. If you got a topic you want us to dissect. And yes, we do the dark topics. We can cover the dark topics too, not just this celebrity bullshit. I don't give a rat's damn who Remy is smashing. So if you want to talk about something else and you want the blog to dissect it and research it, we shall. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Let's bring back Sharia law.
Who?
Middle Eastern Islamic law, where like cut off your hand for stealing, cut off your head for rape, like, you know.
That would be great.
Yeah,
that would be great. That would be absolutely great. But you know, we could.
I don't believe in jail time for pedophilia, for pedophiles. I just don't.
I believe in cruel and unusual punishment. I stick by that one.
It's tied to like Mr. Justin said. Like Mr. Justin said, put their intestine there and just start rolling it and just watch. Start rolling it just a little at a time and then leave and go have a sandwich and then come back and roll some more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, play Madden.
Yep.
Roll some more.
That's if my vote. Y'all want my vote. I'll vote for that shit. That'll be the next time I vote. I'll vote for that shit.
Right. All right, guys, we are out of here. See you mañana. Panel chat. Are we good? We good? Block. Okay, so let's get out of here. And we'll talk about it. Good night, guys. Hit that like and subscribe on your way out from mama. See you mañana. All right, guys. Good night.